Alrighty, so today's the day I'm gonna go ahead and take the truck out for a drive. I've probably put about 300 miles on it or so. I think it's good enough to kind of just put around town. You know, I've taken it down to school, which for me is an hour and 15-minute drive that I take every day. So I took it twice and it seemed to do just fine. The truck makes a little bit of noise. I think it makes a creaking noise because one of the cab mount spot welds on the very bottom kind of cracked, so I need to re-weld that, so it's kind of like the two pieces of metal kind of creaking. Transmission makes normal transmission noises. I don't know, just it has a bad exhaust leak because there's no collector gaskets in it because we rushed to put the thing back together. Bed kind of hits the exhaust. So there's a bunch of little tiny noises, but other than that, it seems to be okay. So we're just gonna drive the truck today. A lot of people are kind of asking for just driving clips and see how it drives. So today, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. So hopefully everything should be fine. Take it out of gear. Cool. And I'll have a foot cam this time. So a lot of you guys like the foot cam, so it'll have a foot cam so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm not really gonna rip on the truck, it's still being broken in. I've got 46 miles on my trip down there, and then I put, I think, 200 on it before, so I'm at about 250 miles, give or take, on the break-in. So I'm still breaking in the clutch, still breaking the transmission, so I'm not really gonna rip on it. I have like once or twice and it just didn't feel right, so we're just gonna take it easy this time. But it'll be nice to kind of just go through the gears and you guys can kind of see the difference if you've been following the channel for a while, since I've done some of the in-car 3-speed stuff. And I'll probably insert some of those clips some throughout the video, and you'll see the difference between the 3 on the tree versus the TKO or the 3550 that I've got now. So this is pretty much a decently close ratioed 5-speed. It goes all the way to, I think, either a 0.64 fifth gear, I believe it has in it, not a 0.58, one of the two, but it is a very, very low overdrive, and you guys will see I'll turn about 1900 RPMs at about 65 or so, which is very good. So I can get on the freeway and actually chill around 2 grand, which is amazing. Before I was at 3100 and with the 3-speed because my third gear was a 1-to-1. So we're gonna get right into this. I'm gonna let the truck warm up and we're gonna go take it for a drive. So I'll set the cameras up and let's go. All right, so I got the foot cam going, and as well as this dash one. So we're just gonna drive the truck around. Everything's all warm. Probably gonna leave this window up so you guys can kind of hear me. I got my mic in that camera, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Keep in mind, I did the floor pans. So when I did the floor pans, I took all the insulation that was in the truck as well as the carpet or floor mat. So that's all gone. Let's see if I can roll this window up. I think that's where all the noise is coming from. So hopefully you guys can kind of hear me. I got that window open just because it's hot. Very, very, very hot. So yeah. I know a lot of you guys just want to see kind of how the truck performs. It's very smooth. It goes in a gear. We're doing about 55 right now in fifth, turning about 1400, and it seems to just do just fine at that RPM. I believe you guys can see the shifter with that camera angle. Bit of ticking, that's my exhaust leak, because like I said earlier, there's no collector gasket. I need to go get one of those. I might just drive over there and go get one now. Those out because I was doing the floors and they literally just crumbled on themselves, so it's 2005 is a little bit further forward, and if you have 3 different shifter locations in this transmission, but since it was out of a Mustang, it is further back, because it would have fit in the console pretty well. So I like the position it's in, and I'm leaving it that way because, like I said, buckets are actually going in this truck. So we'll deal with it for a little bit. Very aware about the synchros. Putting tension on the seat is very, very bad, which is why I haven't been driving the truck quite as much as I have been recently in the past years. Plus I have another car I can drive, so I've been driving that. It's like 31 miles to the gallon. It's a little Focus. A lot of you guys are asking me about what kind of car I got. And yes, I did get another vehicle. It's a 2005 Ford Focus, little stick shift, 5-speed. It's fun to drive. So here we got a hill, so you're not going to be able to hear me. So I'm right up to 3,500 there. You can see just how loud the truck is just at that RPM. This exhaust is getting louder and louder the less sound deadening is in the truck. There's absolutely not a single piece of sound deadening in this cab. No door seals, the window seals are shot, the butterfly window seals are shot, and yeah, I'm literally just driving in a tin can at this point, so yeah, and it's pretty hot. It's probably about 95 out, so that sucks. I can't have the windows open because you guys won't be able to hear me. So I'll get on it just a little bit more here. So as you can probably tell compared to the 3-speed, I'll go ahead and I'll insert a clip of me going through the gears in the 3-speed right now. Alright, this is a bump side versus bump side. This should be interesting. We'll try not to spin. Closer. I'm in the power band a lot longer. I mean, keep in mind the truck is not fast at all. It makes about 220 horsepower right now. It weighs probably about 3,800, 3,900 pounds. It's got the aerodynamics of a cinder block, but it gets up and goes a little bit better because I can't stay in that power band. How you can literally just throw the shifter into gear and it will always go right in, and it's just very notchy, which is kind of what I wanted, but since it has about a foot tall shifter, it feels like it's kind of normal throw. I pretty much made this truck transmission basically feel like a car, which I like. Setup, it actually does have a Pro 5.0 short shifter in it. That's why it does kind of fall into gear a little bit nicer. It is a lot notchier, and it's also a shorter throw. If I did not have this shifter in it, it would literally, you would see me moving a lot more, and the shifter would probably come somewhere like next to me. So that actually does help a lot. That was another reason why I bought this thing in the first place, is that shifter was already installed. So if you are planning on putting any sort of Tremec transmission, whether it be a T5, 3550, TKO 500 or 600, or even a T56, I would highly recommend putting a short shifter in it if you don't already, because that would definitely help, since the fact that you're sitting much higher if you're leaving the bench seat, and you're going to have a lot more throw because the shifter's long. So keep that in mind, and after the short shifter's in it, you can pretty much see my shifter is lot more reasonable. And I mean, if I really got into it, I can shift the thing a lot faster because it's shorter. It has a lot more fluid, and I don't feel like I'm going to destroy everything in the transmission. However, the one thing I noticed is it's not very fond of downshift into second gear, which is actually, I found out, is pretty notorious for a Tremec 3550 to have a pretty big struggle going downshifting into second and first gear. It's really, really weird. I've heard people having synchro issues with the transmission. I do have the same issue. When you're going above about 30 miles an hour, it's very difficult to put it into second and first gear. Now, I never put the transmission in first gear when I'm rolling. I only downshift into second every once in a while, whether I'm trying to, you know, engine brake myself, or if I'm going to kind of do a pull and I want to bring the RPMs up. And in my 3-speed, second gear is about halfway in between this transmission's second and third, and so I was able to put the truck in second gear at about 45 to 50 miles an hour even. And it would pull it all the way up to 5 grand, and I would smash it. You know, it was easily able to go into gear. This one, however, I've heard just because it's new and it hasn't been broken in yet, that they don't necessarily like to downshift. Now, I'll show you what I mean. I'm doing about 45 miles an hour. So I'll go down. I should, in theory, I should actually be able to get into second gear right now. So if I go fourth gear, third gear, you can see my shifter will not go into second gear. I have to double clutch it, go up towards first, rev it up, pull it back into second. That's really, really weird. I don't like that. It didn't really feel right to me. I really hope it's not a synchro issue, but I did a lot of research on it. Apparently it's almost normal for this transmission, which doesn't, to me, seem normal at all. So I gotta look into it. I hope it gets better, but then again, every single once in a while, I'll be doing 30 miles an hour, and I'll go to downshift, and the thing will just blow right into second gear. So it's really kind of difficult to figure out exactly what works with this transmission and what doesn't. I've heard of people putting an ATF in this transmission to break it in, and then it goes through the gears perfectly. But what I've looked at, this transmission will only take GM Synchromesh manual transmission fluid. I've heard if you put anything else in this transmission, it will destroy itself. Now, I literally just only run the manual transmission fluid in the transmission right now. I'll eventually put about 500 miles on it, and I'll change it again. Hopefully that does something. I kind of feel like that manual transmission fluid is a little bit thin, in my own opinion. If it didn't matter what fluid was in it, I would put ATF in it because it does have a thicker viscosity to it. But I don't really know. This is my first 5-speed. I got to learn the transmission a little bit, but I don't really know why it won't go into second gear a little bit. So that one I was doing about 45. You can see the RPMs came up quite a bit. So I'll try going down to about 30 miles an hour, and that should make it a little bit easier in theory. So we'll see. So if I go down, there's about 40, 35. So there's fourth gear, third gear. It doesn't want to go in again. There. See, I have to like bash it into gear, and you can see it went up to 2,500. Breaking in, but I'm already getting ahead of myself. I know people are already commenting, you said you're going to break it in and now you're doing all these pulls, but you know, when you have a 3-speed for 3 years, you kind of like having a 5-speed stuff. But I just hope that second gear thing kind of fixes itself. I hope the synchros kind of loosen up, the whole transmission loosens up, and then it'll go into gear. However, when I first originally started driving the truck, it was almost impossible to get in the second gear. Now it's starting to get in a little bit easier, but like I said, I have to double clutch it, kind of go over, put some tension on first gear, rev it up, and then pull it into second. It's really, really weird. I don't know why, and hopefully it figures itself out, but yeah, that is definitely weird, for sure. So my little small town has a small airport, so I'm out by the airport. It's a big valley, a lot of farms, cows, stuff like that. I've actually never been down this road, so I'm gonna keep going. It's a nice straight road, but I'm not gonna destroy my clutch and make it too hot by getting in it, so we're just gonna of course, you know it comes with farmland as old cars, and I see a bunch of old cars in front of me. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go look at them. I hope the camera will pick this up. Look behind me as I drive by. I hope you guys can see these. They're right there. Can you see that? I thought that was kind of cool. Not a rear drive. Okay, that was in 5th gear. Oh, now we're in 3rd. Oh, went into 2nd. Oh, now we gotta go to 1st. Just took a nice little picture of a scenic area behind me. I'm actually right by where one of our local fires happened, literally right in front of me. Because I just coincidentally know the property I'm at, and I remember a buddy of mine showing me a video of this exact area. It was covered in flames. That's kind of wild. Oh shoot, god dang it, we're off-road. This truck does not off-road well at all. My suspension sucks. My temp's been chilling at 170 degrees or so. 5th gear. I'll go down to 3rd gear, got out a little bit. So to some people it probably looks like I'm absolutely beating my truck up, but no, I haven't actually showed you guys the full 1st to 5th gear pulls, and I don't lift almost at all. And it's quite violent, so that's why I'm not doing those right now, because I realized how violent it is. I did not pick up the camera when I did it. It's almost a good thing. It was pretty crazy, because when you do a dig from a stop with this 5-speed, and you have pretty much the original suspension around it with no ladder bars or track bars of any sort, and you have just regular leaf springs that are original, and you have pretty much blown out shocks completely, you tend to redline it in 1st, slam it in 2nd like you're just going to do a full drag racing style pass. And when you let the clutch out in 2nd, it likes to kick the rear end out and hop a little bit. So I don't like axle hop at all. My truck's been notorious for axle hop since I bought it. And so axle hop is a good way to not only break your rear end, a good way to break your rear end, because you're repeatedly putting a ton of stress on it and then none, and then a ton and then none. So your pinion gear is absolutely getting smashed into the spider gears in the rear end. And not only that, your rear end is going forward and backwards because you don't have any track bars keeping it in place. So your drive shaft can actually puncture the back of the transmission and completely blow up your transmission. So that is why I am not doing any legitimate dig pulls, full start to end, you know, absolutely slamming gears in this thing. I won't do that until I have a legitimate suspension setup in this thing and I know it can handle it. So if you guys actually believe me, that's only to 4,200 RPMs and the truck revs to 55. However, this is quite a, I don't know how to say it, not a very powerful engine, I guess, for the lack of words. And it doesn't really, once it gets to like 4,200, the RPM curve kind of levels off and it doesn't make any more power. So there's not really a point to take it to redline unless you're in 1st or 2nd gear, and even then it's not really worth it. Definitely hear my exhaust, like it's just like tick, 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 tick. You guys might be able to hear that, but it's quite annoying. Too many bumps on this road. Okay, I'm gonna try something and see if it works. But you know, open diff life. Nope, didn't work. happened is I have an open diff, and when I clutch kicked it, one tire gripped, and I just went straight. And so I was like, oh, geez, rut. And there was a rut in front of me. I slowed down, straightened myself out, and I got back on it like you're supposed to. Oh, all right, that was nice. Dang it, all that nice work we spent cleaning the wheels, and now they're filthy. Nice. It's all right. Literally, you can just hose them off again and then just re-tire shine. Even going in the dirt, the tire shine. No, they're not black anymore. I'm not even gonna fake that. Yeah, there's the focus, by the way. But yeah, I'd say everything worked out pretty well. Yeah, maybe I beat on it a little bit more than you probably should, but you know, I'm not gonna be boring with it, you know? No one just wants to watch me just drive like an old man. It's no fun. But still, it was fun to drive. Everything worked well. Drove out in the middle of nowhere, checked out some cool new spots, drove around, even kicked in the dirt a little bit, and seems like everything went pretty well. So I have no idea where this video was going, but I thought you guys wanted to just see kind of how the truck drove. And it does drive really well, so hope you guys enjoyed that. And stay tuned in the future. We will be making the video on putting the actual front suspension in. You probably can't really tell, but it is, it's less bouncy than it was before with like hydraulics. It was really bad. But yeah, so the next video you'll see us kind of restore some shocks, put some shocks in this thing, and I'm probably gonna put the rears in either later today or early tomorrow. And it should be a pretty good time. So like the video if you did enjoy it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Any questions, comments, or concerns, I'll try to answer them, and let me know kind of what you think about that whole second gear thing. I'm hoping it's just breaking in. I didn't actually beat on the truck literally at all when we first started driving. I mean, I got on it on my street, which you saw in the video when I first started driving, but that was really it. So I don't really think it's my fault, and I really hope it is just breaking in, but I don't know. You guys' feedback's always helpful, so let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.